How to become a full-time real estate investor. Did you know that I started off from my parents' basement, broke, bankrupt with bad credit and no money, and became a full-time real estate investor and a multi-millionaire in real estate? Yes, real estate investing offers so many opportunities. I'm going to share with you how to get it done and how to go from working a job to being a full-time investor. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you a simple step-by-step process on how to go from working a job to becoming a full-time investor. I'm going to share with you a simple 3-step process on how to be a real estate investor without driving yourself crazy. And I'm going to share with you the biggest trap that stops most people from being successful as a real estate investor. Real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment combined. In fact, it was said over 100 years ago by Andrew Carnegie that 89% of all millionaires have been created so through real estate, and Noel Randall is actually one of them. I literally started from my parents' basement when I was broke, bankrupt, had multiple foreclosures, bad credit. I didn't even have a college degree. And today I am a multi-millionaire in real estate, and I actually became a millionaire by owning real estate. Not having $1 million, but having $1 million worth of real estate that I could leverage. Let me explain how you can get this done. So most people start off by working a job, and I completely agree that you should keep working your job and start investing on the side, and then replace your job's income with real estate, and then if you want to, you can quit your job. That is a simple way to go from working for someone else to working for yourself without having to work all the time. Because real estate provides so many natural advantages like cash flow, equity, appreciation, leverage, hedging against inflation, deductions, tax benefits. There are so many things that you can do where you don't actually have to work a job in order to receive income, and you literally can live off your real estate investments without having to have tons and tons of property. Let me tell you how you can get it done. Marketing. The first thing that you want to do is start marketing to people that are having property problems. When I was living in my parents' basement, I was broke, I was bankrupt, I had bad credit, and it was all because I started investing in real estate and I had no idea what I was doing. When I started, it was like 2001, 2002. I was in my early 20s and I was living in Atlanta, and I had a full-time job at a mortgage company. Well, the employees and my coworkers were flipping houses, and I started doing the exact same thing. But because the market was just going up, and it was 2004 and 2005, and loans were easy and values were going crazy, I never actually learned the correct way to do it. So when 2007 hit and 2008, I lost everything. I ended up having to move back into my parents' basement, broke, bankrupt with bad credit, and this is where I really learned how to invest in real estate. I started going to different classes, seminars, conferences, and I even got a real estate coach that taught me how to find people with property problems. He's told me that I needed to market. This was the easiest way to find people and get them under contract and do things like wholesaling, and even how to fix and flip properties the correct way and maximize profits. When I was in Atlanta, before I got educated, I thought that I could just find properties with a real estate agent that were fixer-uppers, fix them up, and then sell them. Well, when I learned the correct way, I found that buying properties at a discount, finding distressed sellers, and finding off-market deals was really where all the money was in real estate investing, and that is truly how I became the multimillionaire that you see today. Let me explain. So when I was in my parents' basement, like I said, I learned about wholesaling. So I would market to people that were behind on their mortgage payments because I could relate. Because I had gone through the entire foreclosure process, meaning the sheriff literally came and kicked us out of our house and put all of our stuff outside, and it was so embarrassing. I knew that I could tell people that you did not want to go through that. So people that were behind on their mortgage payments, we literally could save them from foreclosure, and I could send them letters, and I could put out signs, and I could get them under contract, and I could flip those contracts to investors for a fee. This would help the person that was behind on their mortgage payment from actually going into foreclosure, and it would help investors find off-market deals at a discount. This was amazing and life-changing for me. Once I started wholesaling, I started getting $5,000 and $10,000 per deals. I was easily able to get myself out of my parents' basement and get back living on my own. So then I started fixing and flipping properties because I now knew how to find them the correct way. So once I was able to get myself together and get out of my parents' basement and start fixing my credit, then I could actually start fixing and flipping the correct way. Now, wholesaling will pay you about $5,000 per deal on average, but fixing and flipping on average pays about $65,000. So just imagine, I was able to do 1 or 2 flips per year and make more fixing and flipping than I did at my full-time job. Once I was able to replace my income through real estate, then I could easily quit my job and become a full-time real estate investor. Once I decided to quit my job, then I built up a portfolio of rental properties, and now I was able to get passive income, I was able to get cash flow, I was able to sell off my properties whenever I needed large lump sums of cash. I could sell a property and get $100,000, or I could put a tenant in it and start making money. And now even with Airbnb, we make even more money doing short-term rentals. It is very easy to start investing in real estate from nothing and grow yourself up and replace your income. You literally can start leveraging one property to get more and more properties, and then you don't have to work for anyone else unless you want to. This will give you the freedom, if you love your job, to keep working there. But if for some reason you don't want to do it, you have your real estate investments, they're making money, they're bringing you cash each month, and you can sell off these assets, or you could even leverage them, pull the cash out, and live off of that without paying taxes on that cash. It is amazing. So once you've learned to market and find these off-market deals, the second step is called convert. So it is a simple 3-step process called market, convert, solve. You understand that you will market to people that are behind on their payment, or in bankruptcy, or in divorce, or maybe they lost their job, and those are going to be your best opportunities to find distressed properties. Well, step 2 would be converting. So once you're able to get those people on the phone after sending them letters or putting out signs, then you will speak to the sellers directly and start to negotiate with them. Either you will lease their properties, or you will buy them subject to. You may even do leases with an option to purchase. You may even partner with the seller where you do equity partnering. Maybe the property needs some renovations, and then you actually put your name on the deed. They keep the mortgage in their name, and then you guys sell the property together and split the profits. I have been able to negotiate so many different things because I'm able to talk directly with the seller, and that is really what real estate investing is all about. Not only can you do this with single-family homes, you can do this with condos, townhomes, apartment buildings, hotels, lots, mobile homes, basically any type of real estate you can do this with, and I have been able to do this in all different areas all across the country. Real estate is pretty much everywhere. All people always need somewhere to live. Unfortunately, there's no app or no new technology that's going to replace housing. We all need somewhere to live, and that is why I have focused on residential housing. Now, again, you don't have to do single-family homes. You literally can do apartment buildings, small apartment buildings like 10 units and 12 units, all the way up to 500-unit apartment buildings. Again, as it grows, you grow. Step 3 is solve. All of the different things that I said that you can do are different solutions that you will provide to their problems. Like I said, you're going to market to people that are in distress. Maybe they're behind on their payments. Maybe they're sick and they're losing the home. Maybe they're getting divorced and only one person is going to be paying, but they need 2 of them to pay. Those type of situations will offer you different solutions. Maybe, like I said, you'll do wholesaling and just assign the contract. Maybe you already have good credit and you have yourself established and you'll do a fix and flip. Maybe you'll create a whole portfolio of rental properties. Again, there are over 12 different strategies that I teach that you can do by finding people that are in distress, converting the sellers on the phone, and then create different solutions that maximize profits for yourself. I have an entire class where I will be teaching you how to replace your income using real estate, and you can register absolutely free at noelrandall.com/masterclass. These classes are absolutely amazing because they are live classes via Zoom that you can do right on your computer. You don't have to leave, and they are live classes, not a recording, so you literally can interact with me and ask questions and get all of your questions answered so that you can actually quit your job using real estate. Go to noelrandall.com/masterclass right now and get your spot. Again, I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noel, to your success.